Hello and welcome to today's yoga. We're going to work through shoulders and hips today. So please grab a block and a strap and remember to take your time through the poses, okay? So form is much better than doing it really quickly. So if you've got a Garmin, now's a good time to press go. We're going to start to begin with just sat up on a block, okay? So sit up on a block nice and tall. Find that space between the vertebrae. So maybe your feet are together, soles of the feet together, maybe allowing the knees to drop. If that's uncomfortable for you, then just come to a cross-legged position, however that works for you. So we're going to sit up nice and tall. Just draw those ribs in. We don't want to be flaring them out. So ribs drawn in, shoulders stacked over our hips, okay? And we're just going to roll those shoulders up towards the ears to begin with. Okay, so really feel the difference as they're right up close by the ears. Send them all the way back and then allow them to fall back down again, okay? So really feel into that space. So let's go again. Bring those shoulders up towards the ears and then send them all the way back and down. Last one here, all the way up and then all the way back and down. From here, very slowly, just take your gaze up towards the ceiling. We don't want to be crunching into the neck, but we do want to be thinking about growing through our nose, like our nose is going to touch the ceiling. Check in here with the ribs. Are they beginning to flare out? If they are, can you just engage that core to bring them back in again? And then slowly, carefully, just take that right ear towards the right shoulder. And then chin towards chest. And then left ear, left shoulder. And then carefully, without allowing the head to just drop back, just take that nose back up towards the ceiling. Check in with yourself again, grow tall through your nose. That's a fun thing to do. Notice the shoulders. Where are the shoulders? Have they crept up by the ears? If they have, just roll those shoulder blades back and down. And let's go again. Slowly, carefully, right ear to right shoulder. Chin to chest. Left ear, left shoulder. And then carefully all the way back. Grow tall through the nose. Suck those ribs in. Core is holding us strong. Shoulders over hips. And last time, right ear, right shoulder. Chin to chest. Left ear, left shoulder. And then very carefully bring yourself back up to neutral. Okay. From here, inhale those arms high above the head. Just really, really stretch. Take that stretch like it's the first stretch of the day. Lifting through the right fingertips. And then the left fingertips. And then the right fingertips. A little bit more this time, left fingertips. And then get yourself back into center again. Lifting up, nose comes towards ceiling, fingertips come towards ceiling. Draw that core in, and then let's take that right hand down, sweep that left arm over. And then just begin to feel into this movement now as you pulse a little bit, finding that space between the left side of the body, maybe rolling that left shoulder down a little bit and gazing up towards the ceiling. Okay, inhale the arms back up high above the head, gaze up towards the ceiling one more time, and then take that left hand down, sweep that right arm over. And again, really feel into the fluidity of it. Rolling that shoulder back just a little bit, gazing up towards the ceiling. And then coming back up to our seated position. Okay, take the block away from the bottom, but remember if you want to keep it there because it gives you a little bit more space in the hips, then go ahead. From here, we've still got that that front leg leading us. So we're just going to walk those fingertips forward now, okay? Now spider up those fingertips, keep the palms lifted to really get that extra space that you can dip that chest lower. So with every inhale, see if you can inhale and move forward a little bit. Find that space down the vertebrae. Keep the neck relaxed. Gaze comes down towards the mat. Just find that space. And then walk your fingertips over to the right-hand side. Okay, so you're just taking your fingertips over to the right-hand side, keeping the palms lifted, and then sink the chest down. With every inhale, see if you can find that length again. Exhale, can you come just a little bit lower? With the palms lifted, notice that feeling underneath the arms into the shoulders, a really nice deep stretch there. Again, check in with the neck, make sure you're not holding tension. And then walk those fingertips all the way back through center. Pause there. And then from here, take your fingertips over to the left-hand side. And again, noticing here that nice deep stretch. Should be feeling it into the IT band as well and into the hips. With every inhale, find that space. Exhale, come just a little bit lower. And then walk those hands back through center and then all the way back up. From here, we're going to swap out those legs now. Let's repeat again. So inhale, those arms come high, lifting up out of the waist. Draw those ribs in, nice strong core, keeping us stable. And then from here, take those hands forward. We're just going to stretch into that, finding that nice stretch through the left or whichever one of your leading leg, the IT band on that side. And then take the hands over to the right-hand side. This is a good bang for buck stretch. We get it through the shoulders, through the backs of the arms, right down into the hips, the IT band of that leading leg. And then walk the hands all the way back through center and then over to the left-hand side and then sink that chest low again. I wonder if you can get a little bit lower now you've been through this on one side. And then coming back through our center, walk the hands back in. All right, from here, we're going to come over to all fours on our mat. So find your tabletop pose. Okay, so we want our shoulders over the top of our wrists, our hips over the top of our knees. And from here, we're just going to go into a few cat-cows. I want you to take the movement from your hips. So as we inhale, we begin to drop the tummy, push hands into the mat, gaze up towards the ceiling, find that opening through the throat. And as you exhale, take that movement from the pelvis as you begin to round through the spine. Again, hands push into the mat, shins pushing into the mat too. Core is tucked in. Exhale, gaze comes up, tummy drops. And then to inhale, let's just roll through that movement. Okay, so now beginning to put a little bit of a forward and backwards motion here, beginning to move through the wrists, doing what your body needs just to warm up through the spine, through the wrists, through the shoulders. And then coming to pause in your neutral. We're going to take some circulars now. So dropping through those elbows, send the chest low. And then like you're drawing a circle with the spine, just find that really nice movement that your body is calling for. Okay, so once we're back up at center, take it the other way now. Last one here, and then pausing back at center. Okay, so from here, just tuck under the toes for a moment. We're going to hover the knees. Find that strength as you push the hands into the mat, separating the shoulder blades. Keep the neck relaxed. Send the weight forward, core is strong. Send the chest back towards the thighs. Get that really nice deep bend into the knees. Feel that stretch through the Achilles. Start to turn the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Okay, let's rock the body forward again. Take the weight into the hands. Feel the core strong. Keep the breath smooth and even. Remember, no pain in yoga. And then chest comes back towards the thighs. Again, that deep bend into the knees. You want to feel it into the Achilles, into the calves, and then just imagine turning the bottom or the sit bones up towards the ceiling again. Last one here, take the weight forward. And then back. We want to bring that chest to thighs. And then bring the knees back to the mat. Okay, from here we're going to go into half frog. So take the body down. As we do, we're going to take that left knee out to the side, take the right leg away. Okay, so in frog, we want to be keeping or driving both hips down. Okay, so we want to keep both hips down. We want to keep the knee in line with the hip where we can. So it's up to you. You can be up on your forearms, okay? Or you can come down and make a little pillow with the hands, up to you. So just find your half frog. Keeping the neck relaxed, breathe into this area. Hips carry so much of our attention. I mean, it's not surprising bearing in mind all of the activities that we love to do. It's hardly surprising, but they do deserve a decent bit of respect. So with every inhale, see if you can then take that exhale and send it towards your hips. Can you get the hip points just a little bit lower? Can you release into it, surrender into this on your edge of comfortable? Okay, coming back up onto the forearms now. Use that strength through your forearms, tuck that right toe, and then just bring that left knee back in line, back into your table. From here, we're going to walk the hands forward, coming down into our puppy. So we want to be sending those sit bones in towards, well, up towards the ceiling. We want to have our hips stacked over our knees and the chest heading towards the mat. If you are super flexible here and you've got space, take the hands together in prayer, pass that prayer over the top of the head, allow the thumbs to touch the nape of the neck. Take a breath here. Hands come all the way back down if that's where you are. And then spider up those fingertips. We're going to take that left arm underneath the right, come to rest on the back of that left shoulder. And then take the right hand away from you. Lift the palm. So you're really lifting into that shoulder. Maybe walk those fingertips of the right fingers away just a little bit more. Notice here if you're holding tension somewhere. Make a modification just to ease that. Okay, releasing off that, take the right hand down, take that left arm away. Left hand spiders up, right arm comes underneath left to rest on top of the right shoulder. And the left hand can always lift through the palm, lifting into that left shoulder as well. Still breathing. Okay, from here, left hand pushes down, bring that right arm back. We're going to come into frog now on that right side. So we're going to come down to the forearms, take that right knee away, knee alongside the hip, walk that left leg away now, okay? So I'll just spin so you can see. Okay, so from here, we've got the knee in line with the hip, ankle in line with my knee. And then again, if you want to be up on the forearms, then go ahead and do that. If you want to make a little cushion with the hands, then go ahead and do that. So again, as we inhale, find that little bit of space. As we exhale, see if you can just drive that right hip down just a little bit. Remember, this is one of those poses where we're just on the edge of comfortable, okay? So again, shouldn't feel any pain. It's about just attempting to relax and surrender to it. Take another breath here. And then on your inhale, just take those hands back or forearms back and then lift up through the bottom. Bring those knees back to your mat again, back into tabletop. Tuck under the toes, engage that core, push through the hands, lift the knees. Okay, so we're now in our start of our downward facing dog. Send your chest towards the thighs, Find that nice deep stretch through the Achilles, through the calves. Send those heels down for a moment. And then begin to lift the sit bones up towards the ceiling. Take really deep and exaggerated bends through the knees. Really feel into the lower spine. And then pause in your downward facing dog. Okay, so we're checking in with the hands. We want to make sure our elbow creases are forward facing, facing one another. And then we're beginning to either take a bend through the knees, or we can be moving those heels down towards the mat. It's just an intention. Take the right leg high. Okay, so keeping those hips level to begin with. And then stack those hips. Bend through that top knee, squeezing through the glutes. Allow those hips to move forward to really get that nice deep groin stretch. From here, take a large step forward with the right foot to the outside of that right hand. So coming into our lizard. So to begin with this in this pose, we want to just put a little bit of movement backwards and forwards if that's comfortable for you. If it's not, then don't do it. Okay, so maybe a little bit of a circular motion, maybe a rock backwards and forwards. So whilst we're here, we want to be thinking about being strong through this right leg. We want to be thinking about pushing back with that left heel to lift through that back leg. Okay, so find that movement to begin with. Okay. From here, take the left hand down to the mat. We're going to take that right arm all the way forward. So reaching forward with the fingertips, pushing back with the heel. Keep that back knee lifted. And then take that right arm all the way up. Come into a twist. If you've got more to give, take that right arm all the way behind you to touch the top of that left thigh, opening through the right shoulder. So again, just keep pushing that back heel back, keep being strong through that right leg, making sure that knee is tracking the ankle. And then take that right hand back down again. We're going to take that right leg back to join the left in downward facing dog. Walk out the heels. And then pause in your down dog. Let's come up to the toes for a minute. Right up to the toes, pushing into the hands. This is a really great drill for handstands if you ever fancy going there. Take the heels down to the right side. Get that really nice stretch through that left side. Come up to the tiptoes again. Pause here, find that strength. And then heels down to the left now. Finding that nice opening through the right side. And then back up to our toes again, and then gently moving those heels back down towards the mat. Left leg comes high, three-legged dog, push through the heel. Hips are level. Stacking hips, left hip on right. Bending through the back knee, squeezing through the glutes, find that groin stretch. And then that left foot comes all the way down to the outside of that left hand. Okay, so we're back here again on the other side in our lizard. So find that movement, maybe that forward and backwards motion, maybe that circular motion just with the hips. Move into the space. Okay, so we want to keep that knee tracking the ankle. We want to be lifting through that back knee. We want to be pushing through that back heel. Right hand places down underneath the shoulder. Left arm reaches all the way forward. Reach with the fingertips, push with the heel on the right side. And then lift through that left arm, come into your twist. Reaching up through those fingertips. Reaching, lifting with the back knee, pushing through the back heel. Left hand comes down if you want to touch the top of the right thigh. Open through the heel, gaze the heel, shoulder. Gaze can come to the ceiling or behind you, wherever's comfortable for your neck. Take a breath. Left hand comes back down again. Push through the hands. Left foot comes back to join right foot. Walk through those heels. And then pause just there. Okay, we're going to step or jump to the top of the mat. Take a forward fold. Take a deep bend into the knees. Plant the chest on top of the thighs. Loosen through the neck. Make a frame with the hands, taking opposite elbows. And then just shake the head yes, nod the head no. Close off the eyes if you've got the balance for it. And then begin to sway through the elbows. Just release into the lower spine. Swap over that elbow grip, take the weird one. Coming to pause in central. So start to rock now through the toes and then through the heels. Noticing how it feels as you shift your center of gravity or your body moves through this motion. Release the hands to the mat. Begin to straighten through the legs and then just allow gravity. So to keep a soft bend into the knees, you don't want to lock them out, but just allow gravity to pull you down. Bend through the knees, stacking each vertebrae on top of each other. Nice and slowly come up to a standing position. Perfect. Okay. So standing in our mountain pose, okay, we want to roll those shoulders back and down, find space through the chest. We want to lift up through the kneecaps. We want to engage the glutes and the quads. Nice and strong here. Wrap those ribs in. Okay. From here, we're going to take that right leg up. Okay, so knee comes just out of hip. If you've got a strap, this is always, well, this can be such a useful place to use it. I'll show with mine. So as we plant that left foot down nice and strong, that right leg is lifting. This could be where you stop. It's incredible how heavy a leg can become. If not, we want to just grow tall through that the crown of that head. Okay, if you've got super long arms, then you can use your right hand. So middle finger, index finger, releasing that right leg, okay? But we want to make sure that we're not hunched over, okay? We want to keep that long spine. So if you've got a strap, this is a great place to use it. Pushing through the heel, okay. Remember, if you want, you can just be stood on that right leg, lifting through that right leg. Remove that left hand if you've got a little bit more to give. Focusing in on something that's not moving, preferably not me. Can you take that right leg away from you now? Still thinking about growing tall. Check in with the ribs, make sure your core is holding you strong. Now draw that right leg back. Lowering that right leg, take the left hand to the hip. We're not going to take that foot down, but we're going to take it all the way through warrior 3. So we're going to start to tilt the chest down. As we begin to come down, we're going to lift through that back leg. That left leg is getting a little bit tired now. So remember, it's okay if you need to take a little break. Lifting through that back heel. Keep the neck nice and relaxed, gazing at the top of your mat. Now release through the hands. Maybe the hands are pointing back. If for a little bit of extra core work, take the hands out in front of you. And then hands come to the hips. Slowly, carefully take a micro bend into that left knee. Bring that right leg all the way back up. Let's wobble and wiggle and get some blood back to our body. Okay, so we're going to repeat again on the other side. So nice and strong through that right leg now. Find that foundation, really strong here. That's the bit that's going to keep us standing. Lifting through the quads, glutes are strong, coming up through the crown of the head. To begin with, just lifting that left leg, okay? Knee and ankle in alignment. Grow tall. Check in with the ribs, don't want them flaring, we want to draw them in. And we're just going to hover here for a moment. Okay, remember option if you want to grab hold of big toe, release through that leg. I always prefer a strap. Start to extend through that left leg, still growing tall, pushing through the heel, focusing on something that's not going anywhere. Taking that left leg away, and then taking that right arm away if you would like to. I'm trying to channel my inner flamingo here. Should have been dressed in pink for this. Note to self. Hand comes back to hips, taking that left leg back, releasing the strap, bend through that knee, hands to hips. Now coming into our warrior three, beginning to hinge at the hips as I do, taking the left leg behind. Torso comes down. From here, squeezing the glute to lift through that left leg. Allow the neck to relax, gazing at the top of the mat. Once I'm stable, keep drawing that left hip down. I'm going to release the hands behind me. For extra core, we can take the hands in front. Keep breathing. Hands to hips, micro bend through that right knee, coming all the way back up. And then make your movements, adjustments that you might need to. Great stuff. Okay, so we're going to come down to the mat now. All right, so from here, we're going to come into camel. So I want to do it in two halves because I really don't love camel in one complete motion. So I'm going to take the block behind me, okay? I'm going to pop it on its long, on its short edge, so I've got the long side up. That's what my hand's going to head to. So I'm going to come up, okay? So my hips are over my knees. I'm going to take my right hand out in front of me because that's my counterbalance. From here, I'm going to take my left arm up high, lifting up. I want to create space. I don't want to be crunching into the lower spine. I'm then going to begin to just take, like I was taking a backstroke, just to come down to my block. And then I'm going to start to squeeze through my glutes, pushing my belly button forwards, using my right hand as my counterbalance to get this nice back bend. So I'm starting to open up through that left shoulder. Taking it easy. Okay, depending on what's comfortable for you, I'd recommend you come and sit back onto your heels, swap the block over to the right-hand side and reset yourself coming back up again. Okay, so this time round, left arm is going to be our counterbalance. Left arm comes out. Going to take the right arm up high, lifting up towards the ceiling, always creating space rather than crunching. Glutes are engaged and strong, beginning to take that right arm all the way back, taking it to the block, squeezing through the glutes, lifting through that belly button towards the front wall, opening through that right shoulder. And then slowly and carefully come to sit back onto the heels. From here, just move those feet from underneath you. We're going to come to lay back on our mats, okay? So from here, just take that right leg away from you. We're going to draw that left knee in towards the body, interlace the fingers just below the knee, and then just mind the ribs, and then just begin to just draw that knee in towards the armpit. So you've got this really nice little pinch going on into the hips. Now, I'm not going to judge you, but if you want to be pushing through both heels right now, just to keep those muscles engaged, then that's a great idea. But if you want to be like, nah, thanks, I've had enough, then that's okay too. Trying to think about keeping both shoulders connected to the mat. Just releasing off that grip a little bit. Take the right hand to the outside of that left knee, take the left arm long, draw that knee across the body into a twist. Using a block if you need to, just to prop that left knee up. Remember, we don't need to be going and dragging ourselves all over the place. It's about what's comfortable. Okay, from here, taking that left knee back, extending through that left leg. From here now, draw that right knee in, interlace the fingers just below that right knee, and then just skipping past the ribs, drawing that knee in towards the armpit or in towards the chest. Finding that little pinch, pushing through the heels if you fancy it. Keeping those shoulders towards the mat. And then releasing off that grip a little bit. Take that left hand to the outside of that right knee. Take that knee across the body. Remember, using a block if you need to just stack that knee on top. And then take the right arm out, gazing over that right hand or right fingertips. And then slowly and carefully, just take that right leg back down to your mat. Draw both knees in towards you. And then just take hold of the outside of the feet, coming into your happy baby. So as you do, just use gravity working in your favor to send the knees towards the armpits. I'm not sure I could have said armpits more in the last 5 minutes. And then just making little circles on the lower spine if you want to, or just remaining perfectly still if you don't. Or there's always somewhere in between. And then bringing those knees together, hugging those knees close in towards the body, relaxing through from the neck all the way down to the tailbone. And then when you're ready, rock and roll up and down on the spine. And then when you're ready, you can congratulate yourself for a job well done. So that was all hips and shoulders, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And I can't wait to see you again soon. Bye for now.